The massive silver ships appeared in Earth's sky on a Tuesday morning, casting shadows over cities from Seoul to New York. Captain Min-ho Park stood on the roof of the Korean Defense Ministry building, watching through binoculars as the alien vessels took positions above major population centers around the world. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission," Lieutenant Hyejin Kim called from her communication station inside the building. "It's coming from the lead ship." Min-ho rushed inside. Just as the main screen flickered to life, a tall, thin creature appeared, standing nearly 8 feet high with pale blue skin and 4 arms. Its large black eyes stared directly into the camera as it began to speak in perfect English. "I am Ambassador Velkash of the Velthak Empire. Your planet has been selected to serve our military needs. You will provide us with 50 million of your strongest warriors to fight in our war against the Nexari Collective." General Dong Hyun Lee, Earth's top military commander, stepped forward. "We need time to discuss this with our world leaders." The alien's mouth curved into what might have been a smile, but looked more like a threat. "Time is something you do, not have, human. You have 72 hours to accept our terms, refuse, and your cities will burn. What if we simply cannot provide what you ask for?" General Lee asked, trying to keep his voice steady. "Then you will learn why 67 other worlds now serve the Velthak Empire without question." The transmission ended abruptly. Within minutes, reports flooded in from around the globe. Similar conversations had taken place in Washington, London, Beijing, and Moscow. The aliens had delivered the same message to every major government on Earth. Dr. Yoonji Choi worked frantically in her underground laboratory beneath Seoul, analyzing the alien communication signals her team had intercepted. She had been monitoring their transmissions since the ships first appeared at the edge of the solar system 3 days ago. "They think we're primitive," she told her assistant, technician Young-Soo Nam. "Listen to this." She played back an intercepted alien conversation, their strange clicking language accompanied by her rough translation on screen. The natives appeared to use basic electromagnetic communication. No evidence of advanced shielding or weapons systems. "Excellent. This conquest should take no more than 1 rotation period. Should we prepare the standard occupation protocols?" "Yes, but minimal force will be required. These creatures show no signs of unified military structure." Dr. Choi smiled grimly. "They have no idea what they're dealing with." Meanwhile, Colonel Ji-hoon Yu coordinated emergency meetings with military leaders across the globe. Through secure quantum communication channels the aliens couldn't detect. The entire world's defense networks had been quietly mobilizing since the alien ships first appeared. "Status report from all sectors," he requested. "North American defense grid online and hidden," came the reply from General Patricia Williams in Colorado. "European defense network ready and concealed," reported Admiral Hans Muller from his bunker in Switzerland. "Asian Pacific defense systems, operational and masked," confirmed General Akira Tanaka from Tokyo. The aliens had made a critical mistake. They assumed Earth's separate nations meant a weak, divided defense. They couldn't see the hidden military cooperation that had been developing, in secret for decades, or the advanced weapon systems disguised as civilian infrastructure. On the second day, Ambassador Velkash returned to the screens with another demonstration. 3 coastal cities vanished in bright flashes of light, turned to glass by orbital bombardment. Brisbane, Lisbon, and Jacksonville ceased to exist in seconds. "This is the fate that awaits those who defy the Velthak Empire," the alien announced. 48 hours remain. What Velkash didn't know was that all 3 cities had been evacuated 2 days earlier. Emergency protocols had moved every citizen to underground shelters, leaving only empty buildings for the alien weapons to destroy. The loss of infrastructure hurt, but no human lives were lost. President Soo Jin-han appeared on television that evening, her face showing carefully controlled fear. "Fellow citizens of Earth, we face an impossible choice. These aliens possess technology far beyond our own. We must consider their demands seriously." But in secret bunkers around the world, the real preparations continued. Dr. Min-ho Choi's team worked around the clock analyzing every piece of alien technology they could observe. Captain Boranam coordinated the positioning of hidden orbital platforms that had been disguised as space debris for years. Their ships are powerful, but they're designed for fighting other space-based fleets, she reported to the Global Defense Council. They're not prepared for close-range combat in a planetary atmosphere. Lieutenant Sang-Wook Ha monitored alien troop movements as small scouting parties began landing in remote areas. They're conducting preliminary surveys, checking our military capabilities. Let them look, General Lee replied. They'll only see what we want them to see. The aliens observed Earth's conventional military assets with the confidence of a superior force. They counted tanks, aircraft, and naval vessels, dismissing them as primitive. They couldn't detect the quantum communication networks, the hidden railgun platforms, or the underground tunnel systems that connected every major city as the 72-hour deadline approached. Earth appeared to be a helpless world facing inevitable conquest. The Velthak had no idea they were walking into the most carefully prepared trap in human history. President Sujin Han stood before the cameras with tears in her eyes, her voice shaking as she addressed the world. After consulting with leaders from every nation, we have no choice but to accept the Velthak demands. Humanity surrenders unconditionally to prevent further destruction of our cities. Ambassador Velkash watched the broadcast from his command ship with satisfaction. Prepare the occupation forces, he ordered his subordinates. Begin landing operations immediately. What the alien commander didn't see was President Han's left hand, where she tapped 3 quick fingers against her leg. It was the signal Captain Minho Park had been waiting for in his underground bunker beneath Seoul. Phase 2 is now active, Minho spoke into his encrypted communicator. All units, begin final preparations. Across the globe, similar messages went out through quantum channels the aliens couldn't detect. In hidden bunkers from Tokyo to Toronto, human commanders received the same instruction. The greatest deception in human history was about to begin. The Velthak landing craft descended like metal birds, settling in designated zones outside major cities. Thousands of alien soldiers marched out in perfect formation, their energy weapons gleaming in the sunlight. They expected to see crowds of defeated humans waiting to be processed. Instead, they found empty fields with hastily constructed platforms and a few dozen humans in official uniforms, waiting nervously with clipboards and documents. "Where are your military forces?" demanded Commander Kekstar as he stepped off his transport in what appeared to be Central Park in New York. Mayor James Rodriguez, who had volunteered for this dangerous role, stammered convincingly, They have been ordered to stand down completely. All weapons have been surrendered to collection points as requested." The alien commander nodded with approval. "Show me these collection points." What Kekstar saw were warehouses filled with obsolete weapons from the 1990s and older. Rusted tanks, ancient rifles, and outdated missile systems filled building after building. He had no way of knowing these were weapons that had been scheduled for scrapping years ago. Meanwhile, 3 levels beneath his feet, Captain Ji-Hoon Yu watched through hidden cameras as the aliens inspected their fake surrender. His real soldiers waited in tunnels that connected every building in the city, armed with weapons the aliens had never seen before. Occupation proceeding smoothly, Commander Kekstar reported to his fleet. Human resistance has collapsed completely, beginning Phase 2 of colonization. Admiral Velthak received similar reports from commanders around the world. London, Moscow, Beijing, Sydney, Cairo, and dozens of other cities had been occupied without a single shot fired. The humans appeared completely defeated. "Excellent," the admiral told his bridge crew. "Order the main fleet to enter atmosphere for the formal ceremony. We will accept their final surrender from orbit." This was exactly what Colonel Boranam had been waiting for. From her position in a hidden base on the far side of the moon, she watched as the alien fleet left their safe positions in deep space and moved into Earth's atmosphere. "All units, confirm target lock," she whispered into her headset. "Orbital, Platform Alpha has target lock," came the reply from Lieutenant Woo Jin Kim. "Orbital Platform Beta ready," reported Sergeant Daeon Park. "Lunar Base Gamma standing by," confirmed Major Tae Ho Shin. What the aliens thought were dead satellites and space debris were actually weapons platforms that had been carefully positioned over several years. Each one looked like harmless wreckage. from old space missions, but inside were railguns capable of punching through alien shields. Dr. Yoonji Choi monitored the alien communications from her bunker, listening as their fleet commanders discussed the ceremony they planned to hold. "They're bringing their entire command structure into the atmosphere," she reported to General Dong Hyun Lee. "Every major ship, every important officer." "Perfect," the general replied. "They're putting all their eggs in one basket." At exactly 3 p.m. local time in each occupied city, Admiral Velthok's flagship began broadcasting the formal surrender ceremony. Millions of humans were ordered to gather in public squares to witness their planet's official submission to the Velthok Empire. But the squares remained empty. Every human civilian had been evacuated through underground tunnels during the past 3 days, moved to deep shelters that could survive nuclear attacks. The aliens were performing their victory ceremony for an audience that didn't exist. "Begin. Operation Mousetrap," General Lee commanded. Colonel Bo-Ra-Nam pressed the activation key. All platforms fire at will. The sky above Earth exploded with light as dozens of hidden weapons opened fire simultaneously. Railgun projectiles moving at incredible speed slammed into alien ships that had no room to maneuver in the thick atmosphere. Their shields designed for space combat overloaded and failed under the concentrated assault. Admiral Velthok watched in horror as his flagship's bridge erupted in sparks and flames. "Impossible. These humans showed no advanced technology." "Sir, we're detecting massive energy signatures all around the planet," his science officer reported. "They've been hiding weapons everywhere. Retreat to deep space immediately," but it was too late. The trap had closed perfectly. Electromagnetic mines that had been disguised as communication satellites activated around the fleet, creating a barrier that prevented faster-than-light escape. The aliens were trapped in Earth's gravity well with nowhere to run. Captain Min-ho Park emerged from his bunker to see burning alien ships falling from the sky like metal rain. The hunters had become the hunted, and the real war was just beginning. General Thexvar crawled out of his crashed transport ship, his blue blood dripping from a gash across his forehead. Around him, the wreckage of what had been the Velthak's mighty invasion fleet burned across the landscape. His communication device crackled with desperate voices from surviving commanders scattered across the planet. "Command, this is Ground, Unit 7. We are trapped in what the humans call New York. They are attacking from underground tunnels we cannot detect. Ground Unit 12 reporting heavy casualties in London. The humans are using our own weapons against us, but somehow they are more powerful than before." Thexvar tried to make sense of what had happened. 3 hours ago, they had been conquerors, accepting the surrender of a primitive world. Now they were scattered survivors fighting for their lives against an enemy that seemed to be everywhere at once. Sergeant Haiwan Ko led her squad through the subway tunnels beneath Seoul, moving silently toward the alien position above. In her hands was a Velthak energy rifle, but it had been modified by Dr. Min-ho Choi's team with human technology. "Remember," she whispered to her soldiers, "these weapons now fire 30% faster and hit twice as hard as the originals. The aliens' own armor won't protect them." They emerged from a maintenance shaft directly behind a group of Velthak soldiers, who were trying to establish a defensive position in what used to be a shopping mall. The aliens never saw them coming. 3 blocks away, Captain Ji-hoon Yu watched through his tactical display as red dots representing alien forces disappeared one by one across the city. The humans weren't just fighting back, they were hunting. "Sir, we've captured another alien transport intact," reported Lieutenant Young-Soo Nam over the radio. "Dr. Choi's team is already examining it." In his mobile laboratory, Dr. Min-ho Choi worked with incredible speed to understand the alien technology. What would have taken human scientists months to figure out normally, they were accomplishing in hours under the pressure of war. "Their energy shields operate on a rotating frequency," he explained to his assistant while pulling apart an alien device. "But the rotation pattern is simple. We can build a weapon that shifts frequency faster than their shields can adapt." Technician Tae-in Park tested the new weapon on a captured alien shield generator. The energy blast cut through the shield like it wasn't even there. "It works perfectly, Doctor. Get this modification to every unit immediately," Dr. Choi ordered. and send the technical specifications to all resistance cells worldwide. The aliens had made a fatal mistake. They had assumed that primitive humans would be slow to adapt and learn. Instead, they discovered that human beings possessed something the Velthak had never encountered: the ability to improve captured technology faster than their enemies could develop countermeasures. Commander Kekstar huddled in the ruins of what had been his command post in Central Park, trying to contact other surviving units. His advanced communication equipment, which had worked perfectly for centuries, was being jammed by devices that used his own technology against him. "How are they doing this?" he demanded of his science officer Velmos. "Sir, analysis of their modifications shows they have improved our designs by an average of 40%. Their weapons fire faster, their shields last longer, and their communications are now more advanced than ours." "That's impossible. We have been developing this technology for 1,000 years. "Yes, sir, but they learned it in 3 days. Major Taeho Shin coordinated the attack on alien positions across Europe from his command bunker in Switzerland. His forces had captured enough alien equipment to outfit every human soldier with weapons superior to what the invaders carried. "Team Alpha, report status," he spoke into his headset. "We've cleared the London sector," came the reply from Captain So Young Kim. "The aliens are retreating toward the Thames, but we've cut off their escape routes." Team Beta reporting from Paris. "Enemy forces are trapped in the city center. They cannot reach their evacuation point. Team Gamma has surrounded the alien stronghold in Berlin. They are requesting surrender, but we are not accepting." This was another shock to the surviving aliens. In their experience, civilized species accepted surrender and treated prisoners according to established rules of war. But humans had a different approach to enemies who threatened their home world. Colonel Bora Nam intercepted an alien transmission from a group trying to reach their crashed ship outside Tokyo. "Please, we surrender. We want only to leave your planet and never return." She switched to the alien language that Dr. Yoonji Choi had taught her team to speak. "There is no surrender. There is no leaving. You brought war to our home." The alien commander's voice became desperate. "We made a mistake. We did not know your species was so dangerous. Grant us mercy." "You showed no mercy to Brisbane, Lisbon, and Jacksonville," Bora replied coldly. "You will receive the same mercy you gave them." Dr. Yoonji Choi analyzed the psychological profile of their enemies from captured data. "They are pack hunters who prey on weaker species," she reported to the Global Command. "They have never faced a species that fights back effectively. Their morale is collapsing." Lieutenant Sang-wook Ha led his team through the wreckage of an alien supply depot, collecting every piece of technology they could find. "We now have their star charts, their communication codes, and technical specifications for their entire fleet." "What does this mean?" asked Private Yejin Choi. "It means we know everything about them," Sang-wook replied, "and they know nothing about us." The roles had completely reversed. The advanced alien empire had become scattered prey, while the primitive humans had transformed into apex predators, using the invaders' own technology against them with deadly efficiency. Colonel So Young Kim studied the glowing map in her underground command center, watching red dots that represented surviving alien groups scattered across 6 continents. Each dot was getting smaller as her hunter teams closed in on their targets. "Status report from all sectors," she spoke into her headset, her voice calm and professional. "Hunter Team Alpha has eliminated the Sydney group," came Major Taeho Shin's voice through the speaker. 17 aliens confirmed dead. No survivors, no escapees. "Hunter Team Beta completed the Cairo sweep," reported Captain Insu Park. 12 aliens eliminated, found their hidden communication equipment, and destroyed it. "Hunter Team Charlie finishing the Moscow operation," confirmed Lieutenant Bora Nam. 8 aliens down. They were trying to repair their ship's engine, but they never got the chance. Colonel Kim marked each location on her tactical display. What had started as an alien invasion had become a systematic extermination operation. The scattered Velthak survivors were learning what it meant to be hunted by an entire planet. Specialist Yejin Choi crouched behind the wreckage of a burned car in what used to be downtown Miami, Watching 3 alien soldiers through her thermal scope, they were moving carefully through the ruins trying to reach their crashed transport ship 2 blocks away. They would never make it. She spoke quietly into her radio. Target acquired. 3 hostiles moving south toward the crash site. Request. Permission to engage. Permission granted, came the reply from her team leader. No survivors, no warnings. Yejin took aim with her modified Velthak energy rifle. The weapon had been improved so much by human engineers that it was now twice as powerful as the original alien version. The first shot cut through the lead alien's armor like paper. The second and third shots followed before the other aliens could even turn around. Targets eliminated, she reported. Moving to secure the crash site. Dr. Min-Ho Choi worked frantically in his mobile laboratory, which had been set up inside a captured alien transport. His job was to ensure that no Velthak technology could be used to call for help from their empire. We have successfully jammed all their communication frequencies, he reported to the Global Command. Any signals they try to send are being intercepted and blocked by our network. His assistant technician Dae-Yun Park looked up from her workstation. Doctor, we've also cracked their language completely. We can now read all their technical manuals and strategic documents. Excellent, Dr. Choi smiled grimly. Send copies of their fleet deployment patterns to all hunter teams. The more we know about their military structure, the better we can prepare for their next invasion attempt. But there would be no next invasion attempt if the hunters did their job correctly. Lieutenant Sang-Wook Ha led his specialized tracking team through the Amazon rainforest, following heat signatures that their captured alien sensors had detected. A group of 6 Velthak soldiers had crashed here 3 days ago and were trying to survive in the jungle. They're not built for this environment, observed Sergeant Woo Jin Kim, studying the alien tracks in the mud. Their equipment is failing in the humidity and they're leaving a trail a child could follow. Good, Ha replied. That makes our job easier. The aliens had no idea that human hunters had been tracking dangerous prey through forests like this for thousands of years. Technology was useful, but it couldn't replace the hunting instincts that humans had developed long before they reached the stars. They found the aliens trying to build a shelter near a small river. The Velthak were clearly exhausted, their blue skin pale with sickness, their movements slow and clumsy. They had no food that they could digest from Earth's ecosystem, and their water purification equipment was broken. Please, one of the aliens called out in broken English when he saw the human soldiers approaching. We surrender. We want only to go home. Lieutenant Ha checked his orders on his wrist display. The message was clear and simple. No survivors, no warnings. You should have thought about going home before you invaded our planet, he replied. Captain Ji-Hoon Yu coordinated the final phase of Operation Clean Sweep from his command post in Ulm, the ruins of New York. His job was to make sure that every single alien on Earth was found and eliminated before any of them could escape or send a message to their empire. Global status report, he requested. North America 847 aliens eliminated, 0 survivors detected, came the report from the American sector. Europe, 623 aliens eliminated, 0 survivors detected, reported the European Command. Asia, 791. Aliens eliminated, 0 survivors detected, confirmed the Asian Pacific Command. South America, 234 aliens eliminated, 0 survivors detected. Africa, 156 aliens eliminated, 0 survivors detected. Australia, 98 aliens eliminated, 0 survivors detected. Captain Yu marked the final numbers on his display. In less than 1 week, human hunter teams had tracked down and eliminated nearly 3,000 alien invaders scattered across the entire planet. Not one had escaped. Not one had managed to send a warning message to their empire. The most impressive part wasn't the speed or efficiency of the operation. It was the complete coordination between every human nation, working together with a unity that the aliens had never imagined possible. General Dong-Hyun Lee received the final report in his command bunker. All alien forces on Earth have been eliminated. No survivors, no escapees, no communication with their home fleet. Phase 4. Complete, he announced to the Global Defense Network. Begin Phase 5 immediately. It's time to prepare our welcome. For the next Velthak fleet. The hunt was over. Now the real preparation could begin. Captain Bora Nam stood in the captured Velthak Communications Center, watching her technicians make final adjustments to the alien equipment. The room hummed with strange energy, as modified alien computers prepared to send a message across the galaxy to the Velthak Empire. "Are you sure this will work?" asked Communications Officer Woojin Kim, his fingers moving carefully over the alien control panel. "Dr. Choi's team has tested it 12 times, Bora replied. "The message will be perfect. The Velthak Empire will believe exactly what we want them to believe." The message was simple, but crucial. Earth occupation successful, population subdued, resources being harvested as planned. Send standard supply convoy in 18 months for resource collection. What the Velthak Empire would actually find when they arrived was a trap bigger than anything they could imagine. Dr. Min Ho Choi walked through the massive underground facility that had been built beneath the Korean mountains. Hundreds of human engineers worked day and night, using captured alien technology to build weapons that would make Earth's defenses incredibly powerful. "Status report on the new orbital platforms," he requested from his chief engineer. "We have 47 new defense satellites ready for deployment," reported Engineer Da-Yoon Park. "Each one uses improved Velthak energy weapons that are 50% more powerful than the originals. And the planetary shield generators? Installation. Complete in all major cities. The shield technology we captured can now protect our entire planet from orbital bombardment." Dr. Choi smiled with satisfaction. "When the Velthak supply fleet arrives, they'll face defenses built from their own technology, but made better by human engineering." General Dong-Hyun Lee reviewed the final cleanup reports in his office. Every single piece of evidence that could reveal what really happened on Earth had been carefully managed. "All alien bodies have been processed," reported Colonel So-Young Kim. "We've extracted every useful piece of biological and technological information, then disposed of all remains completely." "What about their crashed ships?" "Every piece of wreckage has been collected and studied. Our engineers now understand Velthak technology better than the aliens do themselves. Nothing remains that could warn their empire about our true capabilities. The most important part of the deception was making sure the Velthak Empire had no reason to suspect that their invasion had failed. As far as they knew, Earth was now a conquered world, quietly serving their empire while they fought their war against the Nexari Collective." Lieutenant Yoonji Lee worked in the new intelligence center, monitoring communications across the galaxy, using captured Velthak equipment. Her job was to track the alien empire's military movements and predict when the next fleet would arrive. "Sir, we're detecting increased Velthak military activity in the Centauri sector," she reported to General Lee. "It appears they're preparing a major offensive against Nexari positions." "Good," the general replied. "The longer they stay busy with their war, the more time we have to prepare our surprise." What the aliens didn't know was that Earth had become the most heavily defended planet in the galaxy. Hidden weapon systems surrounded the solar system like a spider's web, waiting for the next Velthak fleet to arrive. President Soo Jin-han addressed the secret global council that now coordinated Earth's defense. Representatives from every nation sat around the table, united in a way that had never happened before in human history. "The deception is working perfectly," she announced. "Velthak communications indicate they believe Earth is under their control. They have no suspicion that we eliminated their entire invasion force." "What about the supply convoy they're planning to send?" asked the representative from Japan. "Our best intelligence suggests it will arrive in approximately 18 months, replied the intelligence coordinator. "It will consist of cargo ships with minimal military escort, expecting to collect resources from their conquered colony." "They will find something very different," President Han said with grim satisfaction. Captain Ji-Hoon Yu supervised the construction of the new space defense network from his orbital command station. What had once been Earth's simple satellite system was now a fortress that extended throughout the solar system. "Final installation complete on the asteroid belt platforms," reported his engineering chief. "We now have weapon systems positioned from Mercury to Jupiter." "Excellent," Yu replied, looking at the tactical display that showed hundreds of hidden defense positions. "When the Velthak arrive, They'll be entering a kill zone that extends across billions of kilometers. The aliens had made Earth dangerous by giving humans access to advanced technology, but they had made Earth lethal by underestimating human ingenuity and determination. Dr. Yoon-ji Choi completed her analysis of Velthak psychology and military doctrine. They are a species that has conquered through intimidation and superior technology for over 1,000 years, she reported. They have never faced an enemy that learned from defeat and came back stronger. What does that mean for us? Asked General Lee. It means they will make the same mistakes again. They will arrive expecting to find a helpless colony world. Instead, they will face an enemy that knows all their secrets and has turned their own weapons against them. Major Tae-ho Shin walked through the memorial garden that had been built where Brisbane, Lisbon, and Jacksonville once stood. Simple stone markers remembered the cities that had been destroyed to demonstrate Velthak power. They wanted to teach us fear, he said quietly to his companion. Instead, they taught us that some enemies cannot be reasoned with, only eliminated. The Velthak Empire would learn this lesson when their supply convoy arrived, to find not a conquered world, but a species that had transformed from prey into the most dangerous predator in the galaxy. Earth was ready. The trap was set. And this time, no alien would leave alive to warn the others.